Tonight I'm going to share some news headlines that really caught my attention. First, Coca-Cola is under fire because of some AI ads that apparently people don't like. Some people feel like AI takes the soul out of Christmas. Some feel like these AI ads are creepy. Others don't like the fact that AI is going to steal jobs, and Coca-Cola is apparently on board with this. I'm not a fan of AI videos. I really can't stand movies with all types of computer-generated special effects. I prefer old movies with good actors and lots of character development. I saw another interesting headline today. This was about Wall Street strategists who think Trump's tax cuts will send the stock market soaring. Well, I could see that happening. However, Trump is inheriting an economy that is on life support. Americans are struggling financially, and many businesses are struggling. I've reported about many closing recently. In my opinion, only time will tell what happens when Trump takes over. There was another interesting headline today about Donald Trump. He nominated Dr. Oz to head the agency that oversees Medicare and Medicaid. Apparently, some people aren't happy about this. One commenter said, "It's like putting a game show host in charge of a country." I also saw an article today about how Angelina Jolie's son, named Knox, looks just like his dad, Brad Pitt. Well, I looked at the picture and I don't see the resemblance. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube with poor vision. I read another interesting headline today. This was about Elon Musk reportedly getting in a blowout fight with a Trump advisor at a Mar-a-Lago dinner about Trump's cabinet picks. Well, my friends, you can do this sort of thing when you are the wealthiest man in the world. You can speak your mind, and who cares? You have enough money where you don't need to worry about it. I saw another interesting headline today. This was about the Stellantis CEO who said they will adapt to the U.S. car market under Trump. Well, let's hope they can last that long. Many of their cars, trucks, and SUVs aren't selling all that well right now, and they just recently announced layoffs. There was another headline that caught my attention today. This one was about RFK. He said, "Kids are swimming in poisonous foods." Dr. Mark Siegel calls out the sick care system. Well, I really thought both were spot on. We definitely have a sick care system, in my opinion, and many kids are eating terrible foods. I really hate how companies market terrible food to young kids. Some kids see those bright colors with cartoon-type characters on the packaging, and they want their parents to buy that junk at the grocery store. It's truly sad, in my opinion. Here's a frightening story. Apparently, burglars broke into Windsor Castle while Kate Middleton and Prince William were asleep at home. Having been the victim of a burglary once, this is scary. I hope they can beef up security in the future. I saw another headline that was scary today. Apparently, Russia has warned of world war after Biden's decision on missiles for Ukraine. Let's hope that doesn't come to fruition. Russia still has a massive nuclear arsenal. It's not something to even start thinking about. I saw another interesting headline today about Americans who are bargain shopping and six-figure earners who are flocking to Walmart. Well, my friends, a six-figure income isn't what it once was, in my opinion. If you max out your retirement each year, you have a student loan, you have a car payment, and a rent payment, there isn't much left over for groceries. Throw in some medical expenses and car repairs, and before you know it, you are going into credit card debt. Here's an interesting headline. Nearly 40% of young Americans get their news from influencers, and many of them lean right. Well, my friends, I think many Americans are tired of the legacy media. Some want to listen to people who resonate with them. Some of these big companies may be on borrowed time. Apparently, the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight was the most streamed sporting event ever, according to Netflix. I'm sure this was good for business, and I'm sure this helped Mike Tyson out. I hope he doesn't blow any more money on white tigers. Interesting side note, I once met a guy who was a taxidermy broker. He claimed to have met a guy who had the hide from one of Mike Tyson's deceased white tigers in his freezer, and he was wanting to sell it. Many people don't understand endangered species laws are very serious business. Even if a tiger was hunted legally over 100 years ago and you possess that rug, it can only be sold to a resident of your state. It can't cross state lines, or you just committed a felony and you'll be in a cell with Diddy. On the topic of Diddy, he is now accused of sexually assaulting a 39-year-old man. People are just coming out of the woodwork now. This rapper is going to have some expensive legal bills to pay. I doubt he will ever get out of jail. Here's an interesting headline about Suze Orman. She warns $3 million isn't enough for retirement. She says you need $10 million. Here are my thoughts. Most Americans won't ever save $3 million, let alone $10 million. If you know the YouTuber Flossie Carter, he has something he always says to his cat named White Shoes: calm down. I think that's appropriate as a response to this Suze Orman headline. Here's some bad news about Boeing. They are going to lay off 2,200 workers days before Christmas. How sad is that? I feel bad for these workers and their families. This is terrible news. I hope they're able to secure new employment in short order. I saw a headline today that posed a simple question: is a retirement savings crisis looming? You'd have to have spent the last decade living in the rainforest with a tribe with no electricity or contact with the outside world to think one isn't looming. In my opinion, we are going to see some very sad things in our society in the future when people get too old to work but lack adequate savings to survive. It isn't going to be pretty. Here's an interesting headline about Bitcoin. ETF options go live in busy trading, and most bets are on gains. Well, my friends, this is quite the speculative play. I personally have zero interest in owning it or trading it. I'd rather own physical silver, physical gold, real estate, and stocks that pay a dividend. But that's just me, and I'm old and boring. Here's an interesting headline about Bozeman, Montana, becoming the home to a booming real estate market. I have a friend who lives there. He showed me some dumps that are selling for crazy money. He says a lot of California people are moving there and buying up everything. Fortunately, he bought his ranch several years ago before prices spiked. There was a headline today about homeowners having to skip meals to make monthly payments. Well, this doesn't surprise me. While Wall Street booms, many people on Main Street are struggling financially in this higher interest rate environment. Note I said higher interest rate environment. I didn't say high interest rate environment. I feel like these rates are normal. In fact, I'd rather see them much higher. I'd like to see people incentivized to save, as opposed to being incentivized to speculate. That's not very popular, but I'm not loaded down with debt, and I don't plan on taking on any debt in the future. Therefore, I don't really care about interest rates being higher than they were a couple of years ago. I think the Fed was reckless with their interest rate policy. They never should have kept rates as low as they did for as long as they did. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.